Okay, a video update on where I'm at with the digital desktop for Peanut and BlueDV. First of all, I've been busy transforming this so that I can make it into a distributable file for Rainmeter and a layout, as it's called, in Rainmeter. So I've had a fair bit of work just redesigning this and getting it to display nicely and play nicely. So first thing I've added, and you can change the opacity of this, is this overlay. So when the mouse is off of it, you'll see it dims it down. So as soon as you go over it, we're ready to go. So top left, microphone mute, and activate toggle switch. So click on it, left click on it, that is.
Microphone activated.
Click again to activate it. You'll see also there was an animation here to show that the microphone is muted, that flashes. Also, if you right click, what it does is it reloads the mic mute program behind it, so it actually kills the process and reloads the program. So in case anything gets out of sync, you can right click instead of left click there to resync things up. Okay, to the right of that you've got the volume control. If you scroll with the center mouse wheel up and down, as you see, it's changing the volume. If I right click, it will mute the volume, and it will also flash an indication in the center, sort of LED, to remind you that it's muted. Like that. Probably also heard the beep. Yeah, let's do it one more time quickly. Right, so that was that. Below that you've got a output audio switcher between speaker and a headset. Back to speaker again. Now you also saw the volume controls change there to whatever volumes you've left the speakers on and the headphones on previously. Okay, at the top here, a UTC clock. Below here, the call sign lookup. I'm not going to do anything with that, but you put a call sign in and it will go hit the return or enter key, and it will go off and find it on QR, open up the browser and find it on QRZ for you. To the right of that, there's nothing happening on it at the moment, but there's an RX audio meter here. If I was to click on and mute the microphone, toggle that on and off quickly, or any other sound actually should do it. So if I right click here, if you keep your eye on this meter here, just so I get that beep again, you'll see it very quickly beep up here, but any RX audio is going to display here. So you saw it there. Okay, what I've done is I put in two background graphics, this one here and the one below where Peanut and BlueDV windows are. The top one here is an aid in positioning the VU meter program, and if you use a program such as Windows Manager or any other program that saves the position and the size of programs, then these screen coordinates here, there's the coordinates, and the size of this window is what you should be aiming for to with the VU meter.exe program, to get it displayed nicely behind these overlays. You can actually just toggle these overlays off, not within the here, but within Rainmeter. You can go into the skin file and just literally unload the skin file whilst you're positioning the thing, getting it set up. So that will take away this chrome bezel, so you can actually see what you're doing, and just or if you punch these coordinates straight in, it should be aligned for you exactly where it needs to be. Top right, there is a volume mixer, which I haven't got any programs running at the moment, but Peanut and BlueDV will appear in here. There's also within the file for that, there's skin file. There's a ability, if you edit it, to filter out programs, because by default it will actually pick up just about every audio source that's playing. So you can just add exe files to that until you've found the ones that you want to filter out, and leave BlueDV and Peanut in there. Obviously I can't do anything about that because I don't know what programs you're running. I mean, an example of that, of course, would be something like Chrome or Windows Explorer, anything with audio, or any sound programs, music programs you have. You just have to go in and edit that ini file as it is, and just keep adding them and to filter them out. Unfortunately, it's an exclude, not an include in that. Okay, main functionality: Peanut and BlueDV PTTs with timeout timer. So if I left click on this, it's going to start a timer. Set the timer at 2 minutes 55 seconds, which is that bit shorter than the 3 minute timeout for Peanut. And I've used the same timing for BlueDV. What it does, as I say, it sets out a timer. It sets that graphic off just animated, just to say it's on there. Below there will be some countdown digits will appear, which will count down from 2 minutes 55 seconds to obviously to 0. When it hits 0, it will dekey. So 10 seconds before it gets to the end of the timer, there will be a beep, just let you know you've got 10 seconds left before it dekeys, and the backgrounds, where I'm sort of hovering the mouse here, will change to red. Now I don't want to do a whole 2 minute 55 key up on here, but what I will do is I will just activate the PTT so you can just see what happens. And as you can see, right, so it's now telling you it's on air, it's counting down. So when it gets to 10 seconds it will beep. When it gets to 2 minutes 55 seconds, or rather when it gets to 0 seconds effectively, it will dekey, and it will play an audio alert dekey. So I'll turn that off. As you probably heard, there was a Morse letter K there, so obviously you can key up, dekey manually, or you can just click on it and wait for it to hit the timeout time and dekey. And what it does is, you can't see it here because I haven't got Peanut or indeed the BU meter running here. This is another guide for positioning. The groupie program group for that includes Peanut and BlueDV. So again, if you use a screen sizing program like Windows Manager, and you choose size here for these two programs, Peanut and BlueDV, the size and the X and Y coordinates, that will display exactly where that is. If you need to tweak it a bit, you can just drag the programs up, and I can do that actually, because I've got a groupie group running on another monitor here. So you see, I'm just adding it there approximately. It's not a bad job actually, considering I'm just I'm just doing it by sight. So there we go. And likewise, I could do the same thing for the BU meter program as it would appear. Now you see it's there. Again, a very rough estimate of where it should be to eye. So that's how it would actually look once that's done. Right, so we've got BlueDV. I'll put BlueDV for Windows. Nothing connected up there, but I'll just check. No, there's nothing on Peanut. That's not fired up either. So I'll go Peanut and it will switch to Peanut. That's something I didn't show. So if I click on Peanut now, there you go, it's clicked to Peanut. Were that logged into a room, then it would be now keyed up, and it'll say it'll dekey at the end of the 2 minutes 55 second timer. So if I just stop it and I go to this time, I leave it on Peanut and I go to the BlueDV window to see it do the same thing and switch windows to BlueDV. There you go. It's now doing exactly the same on BlueDV. That's pretty much it, except I've added a couple of other buttons down here, which I'll go. Right, the left-hand side one, it says left click to load groupie, right click to reload groupie. So what that does, if this is the groupie group that's got Peanut and BlueDV in, if that gets accidentally closed, and you can close the whole group with the X icon here, as you see, then if I left click, it will just load it back in again. If I right click, if I right click, it will reload it, just literally just reload it, unload it, reload it. If I left click, it will load it from scratch. This next one along here is right click to reload VU meter, because once in a while this VU meter, I'll just go back over the top of it there, can get a bit laggy. You'll see it moving now, it looks absolutely fine on my audio, but after a period of time it can get a bit laggy, and if that happens, then if you just go down here and you just right click, it will unload and reload the VU meter, and that will appear exactly back where it was again, I say, courtesy of using a positioning program like Windows Manager. So the component parts, rain meter, that's behind it all, that's free. Get that off the web, and once that's installed, I will supply this as a rain meter layout, which will contain the various component skins that we're looking at here. An example being the mic mute is one skin, and the volume control is another, all laid out in with the background and so on and so forth. So that's rain meter. Skins to go with it, which I've designed. VU meter at the top here. VU meter is free. I can bundle that with it. Excuse me. So that's VU meter. There's another program running behind here that does the microphone muting called MIC mute or mic mute, and that program again I can supply with it. And any documentation regarding setting up a hotkey to work with that. I use the scroll lock key. That's what I'm going to use and program in. So in other words, when this interface is expecting to send a scroll lock key to the mic mute program, so the mic mute program needs to be set up to use that as its mic toggle. So 2 bits of free software there, free really, with rain meter. So rain meter, mic mute, and the VU meter. So the paid for software, Groupie, Star.Groupie, this thing here with Peanut and BlueDV in it, and that I think is about £9, something like that, or thereabouts. But what I'll do is I'll put a free trial of that in. I think it's a 30-day trial. So you can see if you like it or not, and try before you possibly buy. And another program that I'm using, I've mentioned a few times, a thing called Windows Manager. And Windows Manager, again, similar sort of money from what I remember. Again, I'll put a trial in with it. I think it's a fairly fully functioned trial. And that is really, I mean, both vital really to position these windows, the Peanut BlueDV groupie group, and also the VU meter in their right places. Otherwise, every time you go in, you'd drag them around, and that's really not on. But as I say, I'll put some trial versions that I've downloaded from the website. It's in there, so you can experiment. Another program that I've been using, you won't need it, but I've created some of these things that are working actually on using a program called Auto Hotkey, and I've created and compiled some executable files, exe files, with that, which I will include, of course, because they're vital to say the PTT functionality. Because apart from sending the spacebar, for instance, plus the hotkey bit to Peanut or BlueDV to get them to key up, there's also another command in the exe files which I'll compile, which actually does the switching bit. So that does the switching bit and the keying up bit. But you won't need to compile any files or download Auto Hotkey, because I've compiled the executable files, and again I'll bundle loads with it. So I think that's it. It's just an update on where I'm at, and I'm not that far off completion. I hope to get the whole thing up and running and out for you to have a look at before this coming Christmas 2019. So hope that was of interest, and I wish you 7 free, and I'll take my mouse off of there because I need to stop this video recording. 7 free G7BHH.